Originally, when I was planning this video, I was trying to make it as if life as a film student vlog. But by the time I already started to make it, like now, I'm already graduated and moved to another city, so... I'm an international student who came from a different cultural background. Well, I made this choice to study abroad because I believe it would bring me experiences and knowledge I otherwise can't get from the place I was born and raised. The cultural differences and language barriers inevitably place me in an awkward position for several times a day. And film study, for me, is a continuous experience that pushes me to become more and more aware of myself, the representation of me in my and others' eyes, my creation, as well as the world around me and the world I want to create. Eventually, inevitably or ideally, one becomes much more sensitive to both pleasure and pain. And capturing these moments also becomes my pleasure and pain. This process of exposing who I am and what I want to whoever you are needs a lot of courage and negotiation with the self. Before we start, I want you to know that the footages and picture used in this video are not specifically shot for making this video, but more like a live recording and out of the purpose of what if I'm going to need it in a video someday. They were my life in Manchester, a time full of marvelous ideas, ego, love and struggle. I've never fallen asleep in a theatre before, but yeah, a long dream in the theatre back row. Let's start with the courses. I had really informative courses like World Cinema, Screen Culture and Society, Theatre and Performance. None of them has disappointed me. But my personal favorite ones are, for example, History and Ideology in Hollywood Film Music. That course is actually named A Score is Born, a course about how film scores and music cues have influenced audiences' perception of the character and film message. The oral message is no less important than the visual ones. They too carry memories, feelings and culture. In the assessments, I have done a 3 to 4 minute editing of the film Portrait of a Lady on Fire, mainly around making changes through the use of music. And I wrote one essay regarding the film Gilda and the relationship between the female agency of the female protagonist and the film music. And the course Screen Acting and Stardom, which is not about teaching the student how to act, but the significant acting theories and methods and the notorious but also charismatic Hollywood star system. I remember writing an essay around performance capture in regards to the actor Andy Serkis's performance as King Kong in the 2005 film King Kong and Gollum from the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
You're still working from emotional centers where the character carries tension, where the character carries pain. You're building a character from within.
Some prefer this name performance capture over motion capture when describing acting with motion capture technology.
I'd been playing this 3'6" ex-hobbit ring junkie for such a long time, and then suddenly I was being offered this role as a 25-foot gorilla. I suddenly had this second epiphany of performance capture, which was, you can play anything. This technology is going to allow me to play anything.
Yes, I chose writing around this area because I was fond of VTuber and virtual idols. It was such a delight to learn and write about my interest. My dissertation is also based on that. Ever since returning from my 1-year interruption, each week I spent hours and hours writing. When I got some free time, I go to the theatre and watch some musicals. I also went to the virtual theatre from time to time. When it comes to actually making films, there's a course called Docufiction Filmmaking. It's a practical filmmaking course that does not require advanced camera operating and editing skills, but excellent ideas and storytelling ability. I would say it's such a clever course direction that enhances the students' focus on the story they want to tell, and more importantly, the reason and impact of such a story. In the meantime, its realistic and reflexive approach avoided professional and systematic training on camera operating and video editing. I was surprised that when sitting in the editing suite when it comes to post-production, while I work with 3 amazing course mates and 2 of them are exceptionally diligent, I seem to be the only one confident in editing videos and switching from video editing, audio editing and photo editing smoothly. You cannot fully rely on the university in this aspect. But still, this course and the 3 months experience in making a mockumentary challenges how I thought about filmmaking. For example, working with people is hard, but you have to work with people to achieve great results. We were allocated into groups and need to submit the film made by the group by the end of the course. The teaching timeline corresponds with the filmmaking one. For example, this week we are learning about developing ideas and writing pitches for our script. The homework will then be developing your film idea and plot with the team, make it as a presentation about what you want to make, and draw storyboards if you can. When the teaching comes to shooting interviews, you can have all the time left for the day to finish the interview shooting tasks and then working on your film. We're going to make a 15-minute short film. Doesn't sound difficult, but it becomes hard when it comes to switching roles and exchanging ideas. It is not you are required to finish a task, but you have to explain your idea and make it explicit enough to be shared. Otherwise, it will be forever hidden. And if you allow this happen over and over again, this is just not your film. Working as a team is no longer about me or what I can do, but what we are making. It was an exhausting and valuable experience. We go through videos and interviews to choose our actors. We move around different locations to get different shots. We improvise a lot and we negotiate all the time. We craft a story while allowing it just happens. Basically, right after the final editing workshop, you and your group then meet at the editing suite and you're on your own now. Then, when everything's finished, it comes to the public screening. The whole crowd, mostly students, family and friends invited, was constantly laughing, which is our intention. I was sitting there when doing a short film Q&A with our audiences, but I forgot to leave my camera on. I was enjoying it. Now, it's been 1 month since the graduation ceremony. My family's come to visit me and the UK. With 2 tickets given, my mother attended my ceremony with my little brother because he has proven himself a better man than his father along the journey. And he actually can help taking pictures of me and my mother. 9 times out of 10, the passers-by would be entertained by the little photographer, and that also made me and my mother laugh. After that, my mother helped me move to London. End of the story?
Tower Hill, the next station is Liverpool Street.
After exchanging my student card into a graduation card, I look at the university building for one last time. More than one person have told me that Manchester is probably a better place to live than London. I can see the reason why. But Manchester and the University of Manchester are the place I miss dearly, only when realizing I'm leaving. This is the end of the video. I hope you like it. The first thing I did came into London is to watch Phantom of the Opera with my mother, and it was a great show. There are surely a lot of things, exciting things to expect in London, and I have a G-Idol concert waiting for me in September, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll see you in the next video.